usually.
Security has been stepped up in the Afghan capital Kabul, a day after a series of attacks left nearly 60 people dead and hundreds of others wounded. It began early on Friday when a huge truck bomb was the first to be detonated in the southeast of the capital. That was followed by deadly attacks at a police academy and later at the NATO base at Camp Integrity. The BBC's Mahfuz Sadique has the details.
A bloody Friday that just would not end. This morning, the aftermath of an overnight battle at a NATO military base. Nearby residents reported hearing at least 2 explosions followed by sustained gunfire. Many suffered a sleepless night as fighter jets flew overhead during the attack on Camp Integrity, used by US Special Forces. Even shops in the neighborhood near Kabul's international airport were not spared.
It was late in the night when the fighting started between insurgents and security forces. It lasted for hours in the area. It was terrible.
Friday itself started with death. As dawn broke, the city was woken by a huge explosion that damaged buildings over half a kilometer away. Many died in their sleep. Scores were injured. Nearly all were civilians. As darkness fell, a suicide bomber dressed in a police uniform stood in a queue of cadets waiting outside the gates of Kabul's police academy. They had just returned from a 2-day weekend. The bomber detonated an explosives-laden vest, killing at least 25 people. The Taliban have claimed responsibility for this attack. President Ashraf Ghani, who has just returned from a medical trip to Germany, said the attacks were a diversion.
This incident is of its own unique kind, and fortunately, right now we're paying attention to it, and tomorrow we will hold a special security meeting about the situation in Kabul.
Mr. Ghani said the Taliban were trying to divert attention from tensions in their leadership, following the announcement last week of the death of its founder, Mullah Omar. The Afghan capital has frequently come under attack from the Taliban, but Friday was unusual in the scale and number of attacks. Mahfuz Sadique, BBC News.